Thank you, magnificent miscreants. You must love pain to be here, and frankly, I love it too. Today we're diving headfirst into one of the most misunderstood, overly complained about, and unjustly whined about aspects of gaming, XDefiant's netcode. Yeah, you heard me right, the thing you love to hate but really don't get. Now let's talk about netcode, cause clearly it's reason your shots don't land and why you keep getting blasted around corners, right? Wrong. Stay tuned, cause I'm about to school you on why blaming netcode is like blaming your spoon for being fat. But before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe and all that bollocks. It helps channel grow, so I can keep serving you truth with a side of sarcasm. Let's go. Alright, time to get into nitty gritty here. You lot love to moan about getting shot around corners or behind cover like it's some bloody conspiracy to ruin your gaming experience. And of course it's all down to netcode, right? That little piece of tech that's supposedly out to get you. Here's the thing though, if netcode were an actual person, it'd be sitting in the corner right now, crying its digital eyes out because you've all turned it into a scapegoat for your bad aim and even worse luck. Let me break it down for you, because clearly your favourite YouTube experts aren't doing the job. Netcode isn't some magical one-size-fits-all solution for your problems. It's a complex system that's constantly evolving, adapting and quite frankly struggling to keep up with your ridiculous expectations. When you scream about getting shot around corners, what you're really experiencing is the result of your ping, server lag and little thing called network delay. Ever heard of it? Didn't think so. See, every time you move, shoot, or even breathe an XDefiant, your actions are to be communicated to the server, which then has to tell everyone else in match what the hell you just did. That takes time, but here's where it gets tricky. Someone has slower connection, or if servers are having a bit of a wobbly, that delay gets stretched. Suddenly you're behind cover on your screen, but according to the server, you're still out in open, moonwalking your way into headshot. And boom, blame the netcode. But don't get it twisted, I'm not saying netcode's perfect. Far from it. It's got its issues, just like you've got yours. But to sit there bashing your keyboard and yelling at Ubisoft like they've personally wronged you, come on, grow up. Devs are aware, working on it, but it's spoiler for you. There's no quick fix. Next time you feel that rage boiling up inside you, just remember most of the time it's not netcode screwing you over. It's you, your connection, and reality your online gaming. Get used to it. But if you've decided netcode's devil and now you're clutching into your belief like it's last slice of pizza in box, let's clear up some misconceptions, shall we? Because believe it or not, most of you are clinging to outdated nonsense that's about as accurate as a blind man at a dartboard. First off, some of you muppets still think XDefiant's running the same netcode as beta from last year. Newsflash, sweetheart, it's not. Devs didn't just dust off last year's netcode and slap it into the final game. No, they've been tweaking, adjusting and in some cases completely overhauling netcode to get it where it is now. And guess what? That's why some of you might have noticed it being a little rougher around edges at launch compared to beta. It's called iteration, look it up. But here's kicker. Despite all this, there's still idiots out there feeding you frustration with half-baked theories and bad info. Oh, they've been working on it since last year and it's still crap. No, mate, they've been refining it. And with every tweak, they've had to iron out a whole new set of issues. That's how development works. It's not like flipping a switch, it's more like trying to wrestle a slippery eel while blindfolded. One wrong move and everything goes to hell. The next time you hear some loudmouth claiming they know exactly what's wrong with game or why netcode's trash, take it with a grain of salt. Or better yet, an entire ocean's worth. These content creators thrive on drama and outrage because it gets some views, and they're playing you like fiddle. Meanwhile, devs are actually doing hard work, chipping away at issues one by one, so you can have a smoother experience. But hey, that don't make for a catchy headline, does it? So before you jump on bandwagon of blame, take a step back and consider what's really going on. Netcode isn't some ancient relic they're desperately trying to patch together. It's a living, breathing part of the game that's constantly being updated. And the only thing more fragile than netcode is your understanding of it. So let's dig a bit deeper into why fixing netcode isn't as simple as you lot seem to think. Some of you are out there screaming, just fix netcode, as if it's equivalent to turning a light switch on. But here's reality check you didn't ask for but desperately need. Working on netcode is like playing a game of Jenga in Hurricane. You move one block and suddenly all bloody thing's about to come crashing down. See, when devs tweak netcode to fix one issue, it often causes a ripple effect, mucking up other parts of the game. It's like a domino effect. But instead of a satisfying chain reaction, you're left with a pile of chaos that needs sorting out. That's why you see those patch notes filled with fixes for things that seem completely unrelated, because every adjustment to netcode can make other parts of the game go haywire. And here's something you might not know. Every time they touch netcode, they've got to test hell out of it. We're talking about running simulations, stress tests, and then some real-world testing to make sure a fix hasn't broken something else. It's a painstaking process, and if you think it's just about flipping a few lines of code and calling it a day, you're sorely mistaken. But let's not forget XDefiant's running on an engine that were originally built for an MMO. Yeah, a massive multiplayer online game, not a fast-paced FPS. It's like trying to make a race car out of a bloody tractor. Sure, you might get it to go fast, but you're gonna have to make a lot of adjustments along the way. And that's exactly what devs are doing. They're taking this engine, tweaking it, modifying it, and trying to get it to perform in ways it wasn't originally designed for. That's no small feat, and it's why these things take time. So next time you feel like ranting about netcode, remember this. It's not just about netcode itself. It's about entire bloody game being balanced on a knife's edge, and one wrong move could send it all crashing down. Devs are working on it, but it's a delicate process, and no amount of shouting on Twitter is gonna speed it up, so maybe cut them some slack, eh? Now you've been screaming at your screen, slamming your controller and writing your angry posts online all about netcode, but here's a little plot twist you didn't see coming. You are part of the problem. That's right, biggest obstacle to fixing netcode might just be players themselves. Buckle up, because I'm about to tell you why. See, every time you demand a change to some aspect of the game, whether it's weapon balancing, map tweaks, or even bloody UI, it's not just about adjusting a few pixels or numbers. Many of those changes involve netcode, directly or indirectly. Like House of Cards, you pull one out and the whole structure's at risk. So when you're there crying for nerfs, buffs, or whatever else you fancy, you're actually adding to the workload that's already piled high for devs. Every tweak requires testing, rebalancing, and often changes to netcode. Guess what happens when they're busy putting out fires? Core issue you're all whining about, netcode, ends up taking longer to fix because they're dealing with fallout from your incessant demands. It's a vicious cycle, and you're all feeding it, one complaint at a time. Now, I'm not saying you need to stop caring. Hell, if you didn't care, we won't be having this conversation. But maybe, just maybe, take a step back, think before you rant, and give devs breathing room to actually fix damn thing. Now, if you made it this far, you're either mad as hell or you've realised that maybe, just maybe, there's more to this netcode business than meets eye. Either way, I've done my job. So if you enjoyed this rant, or even if you didn't, but you learned something, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below with your thoughts and gaming stories. I might just feature them on channel. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.